Hey, 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 happy Monday, and welcome to this episode of FPP Live, a time I connect with you every Monday, 7 p.m. EST, to walk you through the three things that you've got to connect if you want to live as a highest and best version of who God created you to be as you start and or grow your business. So that's faith, purpose, and profit. And yes, all three can correlate and should if you're doing the thing you were born to do and you want to make profit from it. Now, get this, if you've been in my tribe for a while, you know when I say the word profit means gain. So, what you're doing when you do the thing that you were created to do, created, crafted, born to do, is you're gaining for God because God put you here on assignment, and God's gift is that you gain in return. And so, everything I teach you in this series is to do just that, or anytime I'm on FPP Live, I should say. So tonight I'm pre-recording because I ended up having a coaching call of my own and in my group with my own coach at this time. She shifted it on me. So I'm always committed to be here unless I'm on vacation, and I'm not on vacation. So I'm pre-recording just an hour or so before. So with that said, let's jump in. So we're on a 5 part of a 6 part series. I'm thinking it might be six, but again, if you've been here, you know, sometimes I say six and then God drops another something in my spirit. Sorry, my shirt is falling. Anyway, so the series we've been doing is success doesn't equal easy. It doesn't. I think so many people think when it gets hard, it means it's time to quit. And no, it doesn't mean it's time to quit. It doesn't. It means that God is looking to equip you, to grow you, to stretch you, which is going to be uncomfortable. Okay. So, part one in this series, by the way, let me put the banner up here as I share it. If you've missed any of them, you can go back and watch the episodes. You can watch them on my YouTube channel, which is nrjnetwork.com. So, in our first episode, and by the way, I'm walking you through what I would call God's Wealth Hall of Fame. Because whether you realize it or not, the Bible is a book that tells stories of a lot of wealthy people. Those wealthy people were obedient to the way God created them, and God gave them gain in return. So, first week, we talked about Abraham. And this is our foundational Bible verse for the entire series, Deuteronomy 8:18, that says, "And you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers, as it is this day." So Abraham is that father. And so we started our series talking about Abraham. And I gave you 3 steps to really look at the covenant God's established with all of us. Then the second part of this series, which was called You Need More Than Just Marketing, Not Knowing Who You're Serving Will Cost You, as we looked at Esther, my favorite girl in the Bible. And I gave you 3 steps around that because here's the thing you've got to know. So many people will give you this starter kit, this boilerplate, this copycat stuff, and tell you you're supposed to do that to market your business. Mm-mm. And see, if Esther had done her marketing in the wrong way, she would have died. Again, go watch that episode if you missed it. Then episode 3 was called Workplaces a Demand That You Move Past Your Potential. Now, I remember when I was dating, my mother told me to stop dating men for potential or boys back then. And I was like, what is she talking about? Yes, one thing to have potential is another thing to activate that potential. Joseph is our hero, our Wealth Hall of Fame member that I talked about in that episode. And then in our last episode, I talked about how to stand out in your marketplace. And I use Ruth as an example. I think so many of us only think of Ruth and Boaz, but there's a reason that she stood out to Boaz. And listen, if you want to sit back and be regular and average, you want to be mediocre, you don't want anybody to see you, let alone to hire you or pay you, then this series is not for you. But if you're looking past, to move past success, to go into the significance that God has ordained you for, this series is for you. As our conversation in this part 5 is the secret to recession proof your business. Listen, we're living in a time with unprecedented, we're going through so many things, a great resignation. We've got social justice issues going. We've got political stuff happening. We've got all kind of disasters happening all around us. And yet God gave you one thing that made you recession proof. It's your purpose. See, when you're clear on the thing you were created to do and you do it unapologetically, it is not only a game changer, you're not only being obedient to God and giving Him a great return on His investment in you, but it also activates your profession, your business, the thing you do in a way that so many people miss out on. See, when you do the thing that you're doing in your profession or when you start a business because you're doing it based on perception of what other people think you should do, mm, you're leaving out a whole level of who you be. And so a great example of how to recession proof your business, believe it or not, well, let me say this first. I want to share a statistic first with you, right? Because I think this statistic is so deep. Listen, I found this as I was researching today. Research shows that 96%, right, let me move this. Can't see me and that at the same time, right? Research shows that 96% of customers say buying from purpose led brands is important despite soaring inflation rates and a looming recession. Why do you think that's important? And I believe it was our last episode, it might have been an episode or two before that, when I talked about building your know, like, and trust factor. Your purpose is what does that. Not only that, but when people see that you're authentically being who you are, which is what your purpose does, then they see you as something or someone that resonates with them. And then when you are a brand, because you are, and people see you standing in it, despite you're not changing with the wind, you're not shifting, then people will see that your brilliance, your gift, your purpose is something they want to invest in no matter what's happening around you. Now, on top of that, listen, 96% of customers say they still are going to buy from a brand that's led by their purpose. But on top of that, 50% say they're willing to pay more. Now, listen, I hear so many people say, when they come, maybe it's not time for me to start my business because very thing we're going through, or we might be going through a recession, and you've got to understand your purpose never gets canceled, deleted, laid off, none of that. Your purpose is always needed and necessary, or else why would God have given the gift to you in the first place? So we're going to let the Proverbs 31 woman be our guide. Yesterday was Mother's Day. As I'm recording this, it's the Monday after Mother's Day. And when you think about the ideal woman and mother, it's the Proverbs 31 woman. Now, I'm not going to go through all of it, but what's so interesting is I have never thought about her as an entrepreneur, but she is. So I want to share with you the areas that will help you move your brand forward and really recession proof your purpose led brand and or business. And by the way, you are a brand. When I say brands, I need you to get that right. So here's number one. You ready? So again, these are the three things you must have to have a successful purpose focused business. Okay. So your service-based providers, I'm talking to you. If you're a real estate agent, a financial planner, all those things that provide a service, when you base it on your purpose, makes you stand out from everybody else, right? So the first reason is your purpose is someone else's supply. Your purpose is someone else's supply. Think about what a supply is. It's something someone needs, desires, and so you have a gift that somebody needs or desires. Okay, listen. Proverbs 31. I'm going to skip around, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to read three different Bible verses in Proverbs 31, not in necessary order. First one is 15, talking about the Proverbs 31 woman. It says, she rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maid servants. So that right there says to me that she's hardworking. That ain't easy. Listen, I remember there was a time when I was building my business and I was working my daytime job, and I had just gotten married. My bonus kids were little, and I was trying to keep my marriage. You look, my ink wasn't dry on my marriage certificate. So I remember I used to get up at 4 a.m. Did I like it? I hated it, by the way. But I would get up at 4 a.m. Why? Because it would be quiet in my house. Nobody would bother me. I can get so much work done. I'd work from 4 to 6, get my bonus babies up, feed them, take them to whatever childcare, summer camp, whatever they were going to. Go to my office. This is when I was an adjunct professor. I might work in my office another hour. But the point is, it made me realize that what I was doing was I was getting up early to take care of my house or take care of my calling, and so I could take care of my house, just like the Proverbs 31 woman. I think so many people think, oh well, I don't have time. Listen, you have the same number of hours that Oprah does, that Jeff Bezos does, that Tyler Perry does, that think about anybody you greatly admire. I guarantee you, at some point in their journey, they had to either work long hours or get up early. You know what I'm saying? Then it's making me think of Beyonce. And if you watched what's the name of the video? Coachella. I can't think of the name of it. Y'all know I'm talking about that. Somebody write it in the comments. where we watched her right after she had her babies go into preparing to perform at Coachella. The long nights and early days. She had to have been exhausted. She had two, not one baby, but two. That makes me think of the Proverbs 31 woman, right? Listen, because she is someone else's supply. It's not even about you. The second thing it says here, second Bible verse I want to bring to your attention is verse 24 that says, she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchants. And then 26 says, she's a mentor and teacher. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. So not only is she generating her own revenue, but just like many of you, she realizes she has a gift. And if she could take her gift and create multiple streams of revenue from it, it would allow her to serve so many more people. That's what I get when she says she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchants. Again, you're somebody's supply. And even when she goes on to teach, listen, when I realize that when I coach my clients and they do the thing they do, and then their clients, they go coach their clients, and then their clients do the thing that they do, I'm a part of that system. See, God has got a systems. Some of you have heard me teach on this. And I'm really going to break this system down in a masterclass I'm doing in a couple of weeks. I'll tell you about that in a second. But you got to understand that's what this means, that literally she supplies sashes for the merchants, because it's her ability to supply for the merchants that they can then make profit, and so on and so on and so on. Do you get that? And what I don't see people do is realize that you have a gift that is somebody's answer. Listen, research shows, and I should have put this on the slide too, that companies that succeed in uncertain times are those attuned to the people that need them. It's not about you. So are you attuned to the people that need you? Are you being their supply? See, I need you to understand this woman had a strong work ethic, but she realized in her working, it wasn't even for her. It was for all the people that needed her. Mhm. The second thing she teaches us is that we've got to make wise investments. In Proverbs 31:16, it says, she considers a field and buys it. From her profits, she plants a vineyard. Now, another version says it like this. She makes wise business decisions and invests her profits in the future. She inspects a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Now, I want you to understand this. It's talking about the fact that with her money, she has invested, okay, because she considers a field and buys it. So that means that she has money. But what she doesn't know when she buys that field is that if it's going to have turnover. So what she's teaching us is that you've got to take risks. Listen, inherently, investing in anything is a risk. But if you're going to grow anything past where it is, including your business, you've got to invest in its growth. No investment, no growth. I know for me in my own business, I had to really understand there came a time when I had to risk it all to gain it all. No risk, no growth. Waiting for it to stay easy, man, I would have been right where I already was in my business. And so for those of you saying, Nicole, that's great, but I don't even know what to do to go after my next level. Listen, I have one more step to teach you. But before I do that, I want to invite you. I'm doing a free masterclass called Purpose to Profit Masterclass. I'm going to play a quick commercial. I'll come back, wrap up that, and tell you a little more about the masterclass. And then I'll give you a third step and wrap up this episode. All right? So hang tight. I'll play the commercial and I'll be back afterwards. I see so many people talking about finding their purpose or starting a business only to get off track or trying to do a million different things. And why is this a bad thing? Well, because you end up being just okay at many things, but never great at the one thing that God created you to do. Now, here's the thing. When you focus on your one true calling, your brilliance will naturally shine through and change your life. It'll change your life, your business, and your bank account for the better. But how do you figure out the strategy to align your purpose with profit? Well, that's the exact reason I'm inviting you to join me for my free 3-day Purpose to Profit Masterclass. Register to join me by going to purposeprofitmasterclass.com. See, in those 3 days, I'm going to share the insight that changed the game, not just for me, but it's shifted the trajectory for others that I've been blessed to coach and teach. And here's what you must know. When you understand your purpose and how God wired you to make a profit from it, when you understand that you're not called to serve everybody or do everything, but recognize what you are called to do and you stand in it and learn how to create multiple streams of income from it, it changes everything. You don't want to miss this. And here's something else you must know. God will let you live on whatever level you settle for. And why would you settle for good enough? Yeah, I said that even if you're already successful, God has more for you to do, and He has a breathtaking future waiting for you. And that's the exact reason I'm inviting you to join me. Go to purposeprofitmasterclass.com and reserve your seat. I can't wait to serve you. Oh, so I started getting excited. Listen to my music. So listen, just to give you more context to what I'm going to be sharing with you. So it starts June 5th. It's every night. And listen, you need all three steps I'm going to share with you. And in these episodes, I give you as much as I can give you. But during the masterclass, I'm going to deep dive in each of these three. We'll be together about 60 minutes each day. In addition, when you register, you're going to get a manual. Why? Because you know me, those of you that have been here for a while, you know, I could care less if you're excited or inspired about what I teach you if you can't implement anything. And so the goal of the manual is to give you the insight you need to implement. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm going to teach. So, day one, I'm talking about uncover your purpose. So many people do not understand. Look, some call it niche, some people call it the lane you're in, whatever you want to call it. I call it purpose because listen, God created you to do one thing in this world. You've got to know what that one thing is, who it's for, because you're not meant to serve everyone, and how do you speak to a predictable result. Those three, just those three by themselves are a game changer. So see, so many people start their business and not clear on that. Mm. Then day two, from that you built a platform. Now listen, this is marketing, and I always say I don't believe in marketing because you've got to let people see you and really experience you. So they see the value that you bring, which is not a cookie cutter marketing program. It's not just posting any old thing in social media. So day two, I walk you through how you go from understanding who your ideal client is and speaking his or her language to how do you use that insight to build a platform that people will see you, that you will stand out in the crowded market, and that you will be a sought after or the sought after expert in your target market. Then day three. Day three, of course, everybody wants to know how do you multiply your profit? How do you create multiple streams of income? One of which are I teach you is making money while you sleep. Why? Because what I know is most of my clients build their business alongside their 9 to 5. So I need you to be able to make profit while you are not present. So you'll see all of that plus so much more on the website. Again, go to purposeprofitmasterclass.com and register. Mhm. And get your book. And I look forward to pouring into you in those 3 days. All right. Oh, by the way, those of you that I think it's about a month ago, I put out a survey in my Facebook group here. If you fill out that survey, the content I'm going to share with you is based on your answers. So excited. All right. So with that, let's go back into our content again, talking about the secret to recession proof your business. And the secret is your purpose. So three things, three, hello, not three, but three. Three things you got to know to recession proof your business. Number one, you've got to, where's my number one? Oh, your purpose is someone else's supply. And you've got to know that your purpose is somebody else's supply. You've got to know it, show it, stand in it, and stop shifting with the wind. Hmm. Stop shifting with the wind. The second thing is you've got to make wise investments to grow it. Listen, every investment, even if you're making a financial investment in your bank, in the stock, all of those investments actually require a risk. There's no guarantee it's going to do better, but I'm going to tell you, every time I've made an investment in my own purpose, I've seen a return come back. Listen, I remember learning a lot of the things I teach, and I'll tell the story during Purpose Profit Masterclass, those of you that will join me, at a time when my business was broke. I was brilliant. I was standing on stages. I was teaching as an adjunct professor, not in one, but I taught at two prestigious universities, and yet my business was broke and broken. And so, literally, it wasn't until I invested that made a difference. And then finally, number three, it all boils down to the value that you give because it's not about you. People are wanting to experience you. And from that experience, then they'll pay you. That's your platform, by the way. Proverbs 31:18 says, she perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. Another version says, she provides for her family with an entrepreneurial spirit and a dedication to her work. She sees her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. See, it's profitable because it's not just about you, it's also about gain for your client. See, when you do the thing that you do so well and they get to experience it, they're gaining from you. Whether that's the sales expertise you have, they're gaining understanding how to do sales now. Whether you're an image consultant, they're gaining knowing how to put their outfits together. Whether you are a lawyer, they're gaining having legal advice from you. Do you get that? So your purpose is needed and necessary because of the three things I just shared. One, it's a supply. Two, you got to risk to grow it. Not for you, but to grow the supply so you can serve more people. And three, it's about providing value for other people. Other people are looking for you. Other people need you. And every day you hold up because you want it to be easy or this is too hard or all the excuses I always hear. I don't have time. I'm going to wait for my child to graduate from college or I'm paying 5 figures for my child to go to college. Okay. Or high school for that matter these days, right? Not going to be easy. But the same people that I see saying that they can't afford it are also the people that I see walk up with Christian Louboutins on, that I have a Louis Vuitton, be driving a Mercedes. Get your priorities together. Right? So at the end of the day, it's all about you showing up authentically and becoming the go-to expert that your purpose does when you're clear. Which is why I've invited you to join me for Purpose Profit so you can get clear and move your information and move your purpose forward. Listen, I'm gonna end with this. 2 Timothy 2:15 says, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth. Now, Paul in 2 Timothy is actually talking to ministers, but I need you to understand the word ministry. If you look at it, the first two definitions say something about religion. The third one says to serve a group of people. So God put you here as an answer. You are someone's supply. If you're going to grow that supply, just like any business, you've got to risk to grow it. And you've got to know the value that you provide and be willing to serve them value based. It's from that place that they'll pay you. So that is all that I believe a Proverbs 31 woman represents to us as entrepreneurs. Now, there's so many other pieces in there about her being strength and dignity are her clothing, and she smiles at her future. See, I think she's smiling because she's uncompromising. That strength and dignity, she doesn't shift because other people say, oh, you need to do this in your business, or oh, you need to do that in your business. She doesn't shift. She stays true to her calling, no matter what. It's from that place that you will be profitable. And I'm not just talking about once, I'm talking about ongoing, long term, 6 figure, 7 figure, 8 figure because of your clarity. So those of you that are ready, I look forward to serving you in our Purpose Profit Masterclass. You see it there rolling on the screen June 5th. And 5th, 6th, 5, 6, and 7, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll leave the recordings up until I believe my team says Saturday. Just for those of you that might need a replay or miss a day. And I need you to understand, I'm doing this now because of the inbox messages we get, because of the questions you ask us. Okay. This might be my last time doing Purpose Profit Masterclass. So don't say I'll wait till the next time. Yeah, I'm thinking this might retire after this one. Okay. So purposeprofitmasterclass.com is where you go. All right. So with that, that's it for this episode. I look forward to pouring more into you in our final episode, which will be next Monday. All right. So until then, do me a favor. As you know, I ask this every episode. Number one, share your value. Number two, if this is valuable to you, share it. Share it with your tribe. Now, if they're not a member of our Facebook group and you're watching this in our Facebook group, go on over to my business page, which is NRJ Enterprises with Nicole Roberts Jones. It's that business page, and you can share it from there. All right. So, with that said, y'all, I'll see you next Monday for another episode. Have a phenomenal rest of your week. Bye, y'all.